Okay, everybody. So yesterday I put out a little short video on firing your team imposters, if you will. Anything and everything for the last 30 years has been clean your energy field, clean it, clean it, clean it. And I've been having a really neat experience since I had this dream, and I'll share a little bit more than in detail than what I did yesterday. There's so many things that we're all waking up to, so many lifetimes and so much information and things like that. And it's like, what the heck do we do with all this stuff, you know? Some of us are going intentionally, as we're shown things, we're going back to that time and space because we're a little bit versed in the dream realities and things like that. And there's little exercises that you can do and things like that. So but the trick is to not bring any of that energy from back then to your here and now. It's really important that you stay centered and balanced and not bring that stuff into your here and now. There are things from those times that we can benefit from here and now, yes. And of course, it always helps to fill in the gap, fill in that space between our heart and our mind, if you will, and get that energy through our body. All of this, I noticed it is all brought about by all of us trying to get to know our higher selves and waking up to the fact that we've got to integrate all of these bodies into this physical body, and we haven't done this before. Some say we have. I have no memory of that. So it's very, very important in assisting and being the light and channeling the light straight up and down, so to speak, to heaven, to the core of Mother Earth. And so that works best for me, that I keep it straight up and down. And then when I do need to send it out, when I do choose to, it's not so hard. It's not so hard on the physical body. It's not so hard on the sleep patterns and the eating patterns and things like that. And some people have wrote to me and they asked me, like, who is my higher self? And when is it going to be my higher self's turn to speak? And I'm like, you're in control of that. Nobody should be in control of that in the ethers or in the natural. That is your business. That is the whole Ascension Experience. That is a lot to do with the Ascension Experience of yours. And so talk to your spiritual advisors and whatnot. Yeah, just do that. So one thing that I noticed, and one thing that I've heard a very few teachers say, is that your higher self is not going to lie to you. It's just not. It's not going to lie to you. So energetically, even in your mental body, in your mind, when you're telling the truth to yourself or someone or something is. And so we try to see out of fantasy and all that stuff like that, even though that serves a great entertaining purpose. Fifth dimensionally, it does not. So I first of all would like to say that on behalf of any man, woman, boy, girl, animal, plant, mineral, vegetable that I've ever been, if I've caused you any harm, I apologize and I ask forgiveness. So I choose to transmute all of the things from my past lifetimes and whatnot, so that I can get more clarity on who I am and why I'm here. I mean, there's so many different avenues that we can choose to take that they would just take lifetimes, and it would be like a big distraction. So one thing I would like to share is when in 2000, 3, I began remembering lifetimes and this and that lasted up till 2007, and I felt like I had about 6 months of an energy break and dreams and whatnot, and I just kind of went out in the mountains and found a bunch of rocks and stuff, just got away from everybody. And upon coming back, I realized that, after my vehicle was stolen and a relationship ended, and I just had a desire to catch up with myself and try to figure out what the heck was going on, and I knew that it wasn't just me. All of my friends, everybody, we all just kind of went, psst, and everybody went their own separate way. Some of my friends have come back into my life this year in 2012, so it's a pretty cool thing, even though it's limited. And so one of the things that happened to me during all of that movement, if you will, is that I really thought that I had done something wrong. I really thought that I had let my friends down, my friends, and I know them as brothers and sisters, and I felt that I had done something wrong because I had a desire to change my spiritual path. And I know that I always carry that in my heart. It's not in my mind, it's in my heart, it's in my movement, it's in my breath. And I'm going to share a few little ways, as much as I can, so that if you are experiencing a lot of past life recall and things like that, if you're finding that your spiritual team wants you to go back to that time and they are protecting you through all the energy and it's not coming forward, but you're bringing things in, there's the really good practice that I have used. Some of the things that I was able to remember from 2003 to 2008 were like recipes, old recipes that you don't find in books. I was able to keep a book of record, if you will, lots and lots of journals with these recipes and these things in them. And so, be alert when you go there. Pay attention to the landscape, the plants, the animals, the minerals that you see. Pay attention to the textures of, if you see people's clothing. It might help you to propel yourself forward in your ascension experience by doing this and realizing that all of this is just energy that it's like a residual, it's like a repeating pattern over and over and over in your soul, so that you can move on from that. Or like myself, for a while I documented all of these things that I dreamt, and I was able to get confirmation through different systems and whatnot that these are really, really old ancient recipes, and how did you find them and where did you find them, and I'm like, well, I just had a dream about them. So some of this stuff will kind of piss people off, but that's okay. We're not here for a popularity contest. So on the more positive side, I was able to remember recipes and plant mixtures and textures and how to mix them. And I'm not a painter, so I couldn't figure out why I was like so drawn to all these earth dirts and stuff that had a permanent hue to them, and that they make paint out of it. So it was just like a really cool thing. I could have commercialized on these. I could have commercialized on a lot of these things, and I had a lot of people in 2008 and 2009. One particular person was, this person, it was in my life, and it was like a big, huge test. It was like everything spiritual was all about money, and now I understand that that person was put in my life just to help me to make the decisions that I chose to make. And I'm by no means putting anybody down that's making money on their spirituality. I do realize that that's how some people feed themselves, and it's how that they're able to have sustenance so that they can create items or whatever to give away to other people. I understand that. The one thing that I always look for in my dream time is stones and plants. It's This is just me. It's just and I always look for the source of water. And it has helped me over the last 20 years that whenever I go to a new place or something that on Mother, in the here and now, when I go to a new place, I'm always able to zero in on approximately where those sources are. And so it gives a lot of confidence when you're able to maneuver around Mother. You know, a lot of us, we know we got to get out of the city, we got to ground, we got to do this, we got to do that. But there's a reason why we go there. There's a reason why we're drawn to spend time with her. And that brings me to the point of the safe survival type energies. And I'm not talking about fear and chaos and panic and the end of the freaking world. I'm talking about common sense. You know, do you know where your closest water source is that's not city run? Do you know how to get the water out of the ground? Do you know how far down that you have to dig, how many hundreds of feet to get it? Do you have a safe place like in the woods or the mountains where you could go if something happened in your city? Just a thought, I know that when we're going along in our dreams and whatnot, that there's always a pattern. There's always a repetitive pattern that signifies a time and space of another lifetime for me, and so I'm able to remember my dreams easily and things like that, and I was able years and years and years ago to train my brain that it's okay to remember when I wake up. It's okay to check stuff out when you're in the astral. It's okay to intentionally ask your guides, your spiritual team, for assistance, for help in going out there and accomplishing something. The other day on 9/9/12, I had a dream that I was traveling with one of my guides. This is like this big blue guy. It's like really cool dude. Anyway, I was out on the end of the Milky Way, and I've always been very fascinated with that area. When I was a little kid, my mom showed me a picture of the Milky Way, the big old arm way out there, the farthest one, and I guess it was something from some telescope or something in the 50s, 60s, I began to talk to my mom about the picture and tell her that, I'm going to go there one day, Mom. I'm going to go there. And she's kind of patted me on the head and said, So, but I did have I do have a very beautiful mother that is very open-minded and very spiritual. So anyway, anyhow, my dream, it took me into being somewhat of like a policeman, like a galactic policeman, like God Squad or something, Sergeant God Squad. I don't know, and I used to have that as a nickname, believe it or not. I mentioned this in the shorter version of this video yesterday. I began seeing stages in my life in this lifetime and other lifetimes where certain entities came in, and they were very benevolent, and they were very good teachers, and they were very patient with me. And I began to see that they kind of wanted to go, and I kind of wanted them to go because I'm not a child anymore. Much as I like to have a good temper tantrum and a good cry, I'm not a child anymore. So I began asking them questions like, how were you connected to me? Why were you connected to me? Do you want to go? Are you going to go serve some other soul? And yada, yada, yada. And I've never heard of this before, and I've disabled comments. And if you feel like you want to make a comment, you can write to breathofterra@gmail.com. It's Terra. Anyway, what is their mission to my soul? What is their divinity? Where are they from? Why are they a part of my life? And why do I feel like I need to let them go? I had some implants removed a few days ago, and I've had a lot of clarity ever since. And I've been able to accomplish some things that I've been working for 10 years on just in the last 72 hours. So I really feel like there is something to this, and I hope I'm not speaking prematurely on my dream and in firing a lot of my spiritual team, because I feel like that I had outgrown them, and I did notice, like I said yesterday, there's no good guy, bad guy thing, but it might be equated that way in the here and now, and in fact it is. And so after a little while, I started feeling lighter and lighter and lighter, and I want to emphasize that you've got to work really, really hard on keeping your energy fields clean. We all do. I do. It's like a full-time job. And the more serious I get with the universe, the more serious it gets with me. And so it's a beautiful thing. It is truly a beautiful thing. And then no matter what stage you're at, or how you're developing in your life, buddy, the main point that I feel is to integrate the higher self into this physical here and now. That's the most important part. Okay? And so there's a lot of Ascension Experience information out there. You know truth when you hear it. Give yourself a break. You know truth when you hear it. You will feel it. It will be alive to you. It will have an energetic signature that bypasses your mind and goes straight to your heart. And so hold on to that truth. You know, run with it. Grab it. Put it on like a nice warm coat, you know, and just hold it in your energy as long as you can. And then ask your spiritual team, how can I develop this? How can I incorporate this? How can I teach this? How can I say what I've got to say from my higher self? Let's see. Because those answers will come to you. They truly will come to you. Let's see. There's a couple of things that might help you in your dream time. I noticed about 2 years ago there was a lot of ringing in the ears, and coming in and out of vertigo, and getting some orientation, and getting to feel my feet underneath me. And so I asked for it to be honed. I asked for it to be squared up where I could comprehend it. So being that energy comes in the left side of the body and it exits out the right side, the first thing that I was given was like an old chalkboard, you know, and it had two little lights on it, like yellow, green, and a red. And then when I felt energy that was coming in, I could just hit that red button, visually hit that red button, and wait for it to kind of write itself on the screen. And as I began to write, I began to understand these things. Hold on, my leg is falling asleep. Okay, so, you know, you can ask for anything that you know that it's your team and you working together. You know, they're not going to do this for you. You know, they're just not. They're not going to do it for you. So, and in training your mind, use your 4 directions. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking your spiritual team when you go to sleep tonight and saying, I just want to deal with the north. I only want to deal with the energies of the north, or the south, or the east, or the west. You know, wherever you feel like you're at. You know your colors and your textures. Notice any buildings, what they're made of, if they're made out of stone. You know, notice the energies, if there's any plants around, the textures, the plants, the water source, things like this. And enjoy your dreams. That's what they're yes, they're here for us to communicate with the heavens and our off-world family. But this is also here for us to enjoy, so that our mind does not get overloaded. Okay, and so when I was out there kind of clearing and firing some of the team members that I had, not really firing, but I say that because there were a few that I've known them for a really long time, and they're always just kind of there, and not really any interactions, but I, always felt like, and so I told them to go. If they're not going to be supportive in my energy fields, then I just don't want them around. So that was my choice. I realized that we are all gods and goddesses, and that there's so much information out there. But for me, I feel about a year and a half, the ear ringing thing, energy in, energy out, in the left, out the right, and in asking to be a clear and pure channel, I began to write. I began to write a lot, and I'm not quite sure how to put all of it together now, but piece by piece I'm shown, little bit by little bit. I just got to be patient with myself, and I encourage you to do the same. Be patient. Everything is not going to come all at once. It's just not. Find a good rock. Find a good rock to play with. Enjoy the simple things in life. Enjoy the beautiful sunsets and sunrises, and work hard for your own soul. Work hard in being you and vibrating at the highest level that you can. There is a lot of energy going around and channelings and things like that. We just gotta move on. Just move on. Get your answers from your own higher self. Truly get your answers from your own higher self. And train your mind to listen and to remember these things. These are the old ways. Yep. They'll greatly assist you. Ask questions of your highest self, because it will lie to you. It won't lie to you. Activate yourself as a clear and pure channel. Cleanse your energy field daily. Use the salt water. If you live by the ocean, maybe if you do live by the ocean, you might want to gift a gallon of water, the postage on it, to someone on your Facebook page or something like that. Maybe they live somewhere where there isn't any water. So I know every time I go to California, I get about 10 gallons of ocean water and bring it home. So watch your expectations of yourself and other people. Don't intermingle with people that don't have your highest and best good at heart. There's got to be balance. Listen to some music, listen to good things that uplift you and bring you joy. So that, and I'm not talking about being out of your head kind of crazy Twinkie stuff. I'm talking about being real, and you know that. Most people that listen to me are pretty real. We don't do the Twinkie thing. So, has to be relieved of hard lessons. If you're going through a hard lesson, has to be relieved of it, so that you can have another teacher come to you, so that you can learn that lesson. And keep your energy fields clean, everybody. I love you, and I'll talk to you again on another Breath of Terror video. Bye.